Tank, he got the power, and he got the equalizer. Anything can happen with Tank. But Tank give away a lot of rounds.
A big thing with 1,000 keys on it. But every key, they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying, he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
A chess match.
Did you understand in that moment, like, why he is who he is?
Yeah, I seen why he's able to beat these guys.
Curmel Moton has issued a serious warning to Lamont Roach, urging him to reconsider stepping into the ring again with Gervonta Tank Davis. Moton made it clear Tank's new physique and sharpened skills make him more dangerous than ever. He emphasized that Davis has rightfully earned his status as the face of boxing and reminded everyone that when Davis fights, anything can happen. Going for a rematch, according to Curmel, isn't just a challenge, it's a dangerous gamble.
The guy took the pressure, he got some skills himself, and I feel like he's gonna be a great fight. I know I'm the better fighter, the more sharper fighter, and I know I'm working harder than him, so, we're gonna see. But I know that I have what it takes, and that I'm gonna prove it first.
A recent training clip of Gervonta Davis is setting the internet on fire. The short gym footage shows Davis looking more powerful and explosive than ever. With more muscle and laser-sharp precision, he's not just working out, he's preparing for domination. Every movement is filled with purpose. Those who've seen it say this isn't the same Davis, it's an evolved, even more lethal version. Curmel Moton gave rare insights into what it's like sparring with Davis. It wasn't just Tank's strength that impressed him, it was his precision, his timing, and the suffocating pressure. Curmel described it as an experience that forced survival instincts to kick in. He saw firsthand how Davis breaks down fighters methodically, revealing the true mental and physical toll of facing someone so calculated and relentless.
What was it like when you sparred him? I know you sparred Tank early on. Yeah. What was that experience like? Replay that experience for me, like you coming out of it. What was your thought?
Yeah. I was nervous at first. I think I was 15 at the time we sparred, so he wasn't really like trying to knock me out or nothing like that. But we was going like, he was using the speed on me. Like we was both like going speed for speed, and it was great. It was like a chess match.
Did you understand in that moment like why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys. Then I also seen why I'm so like. Yeah. I got all this hype around me too.
Despite knowing the risks, Curmel once expressed interest in fighting Davis before the champion retires. It wasn't for ego. It was about testing himself against one of the most complete fighters in the sport. That desire speaks volumes. It takes guts to want to face greatness head-on, especially when that greatness can crush you.
He is a big fight. Do you think Tank will retire before you can, because there is a small possibility. He's still at 35, so maybe you can catch him at 40 in 5 years, right? He's, 29? He'll be 29 November, or he's 29 now? One of the two, so he'll be 30. Technically, it'll be like him fighting Loma. Loma's 36. Or you don't even think about that?
I don't think about it. I'm not really focused on it. I'm focused on now. My upcoming fight. Take one fight at a time. But who knows what the future holds? I do know Tank said that he ain't want to be around that much longer though. From what he said, take care of not Devin no more. He don't even want to fight Devin no more. But Shakur, plus he said Chiafimo. I think he said he wanted to retire. But
The comparisons between Curmel and Davis aren't lost on anyone. Instead of being insulted, Moton sees it as motivation. Being mentioned in the same breath as Tank Davis shows how far he's come. It's not about rivalry, it's a sign of progress and a challenge to rise to greatness.
A lot of people compare you to Tank. When you hear that, like when they call you Tank 2.0 or whatever the case is, how do you feel about that?
I used to take it as like a compliment. When I was an amateur, I used to take it as a compliment. Because they comparing me to Tank, he's facing boxing, like the biggest names in the sport, real high skill. But now I feel like I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to be 2.0 or nobody. I want to be the first me, and make my own.
Oscar de la Hoya recently weighed in on the looming rematch, giving respect to Lamont Roach's technical prowess. But when it came to Davis, de la Hoya didn't sugarcoat it. He made it clear that Roach is stepping in with a different beast. Davis, he said, brings a kind of aggression and intelligence that changes the fight completely.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. You know, watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations, sometimes at will, without you even knowing it. You know, he's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But you know, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch.
Frank Martin offered his own take. He respects Roach's style but doesn't expect an easy night for him. Martin believes Davis's pressure and power will eventually break Lamont down. His prediction? Roach will be forced into survival mode not because he's weak, but because Davis is just that overwhelming.
They're trying to get that fight more of a, like, oh, it's going to be a good fight, but no, Roach is a decent fighter, but it ain't going to draw him. It ain't going to draw him.
For sure.
Showtime's Steven Espinoza provided some behind-the-scenes perspective. He said Davis performs best at 135 pounds. His power and speed are unmatched in that division. Espinoza also hinted at failed negotiations with Shakur Stevenson, pointing to complex contract issues. Still, he expressed confidence that Tank's star power and dominance remain untouched.
For sure. Waking up in Texas and coming over here, I'm like, geez, that cold is different, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven, Tank versus Lamont Roach, right? March 1st, we're going to get this fight here in New York. There are a lot of questions of why Lamont Roach, right? Let's not discredit him. He's a great fighter, great chin, high IQ. But why Lamont Roach? That's the question that all the fans are asking at the beginning.
Look, I think the reality is, I think those are fair questions. I mean, when you have fighters the caliber of Tank, you know, of Canelo, the bar is always high. You know, when you continue to perform well against high-level opposition, you know, people expect a lot from you. You know, there were preliminary discussions about the Shakur fight, you know, early on, like back early, you know, for 2024 before this was scheduled. Didn't get very far for reasons I won't go into. But
come on.
You know, I just think there were, you know, I'm not sure that the time was right. I think, you know, what Shakur was looking for was something different than, you know, he was looking for more of a long-term commitment other than just doing one fight, you know, and so he's got his deal, you know, he's getting busy, he's got a fight scheduled, and, you know, maybe we'll pick up and do something there. But aside from that, I mean, to be candid, you know, those are the big names at 135. I know Tank has gone up to 140, and he would on occasion. He hasn't looked the best there. You know, overall, I think 135 is his best weight.
Inside Davis's training camp, it's not just preparation, it's domination. In one intense session, Tank reportedly dropped a sparring partner with a single punch, leaving even seasoned trainers stunned. This isn't new for Davis. His sparring sessions are often just as brutal as real fights. His current focus? Send a message with a statement win.
Yeah. When Tank feel a little more power, he actually needs a little more power. I don't think anybody can take his power. You know he knocked out heavyweights? Yeah, I was there. Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Yeah, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring his big boy.
A
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Tank, is that true? You almost killed a heavyweight in the ring? That's what he said.
Should be happening.
Because he asked me, how does a 135-pounder take your power? I said, I don't think anybody takes the power.
Just not getting that with me.
Were you shocked when you saw that?
Huh?
Were you shocked?
I was just like, man, he better not do that to me.
And you know what else he told me? You punched him upstairs, he lost feeling in his leg. No, you told me that, right? Yeah.
Lamont Roach isn't coming and hoping for a lucky break. He's stepping into this fight sharpened and seasoned. With just one loss on his record, Roach has built a game based on timing, control, and patience. His growth shows. This time, he's not just trying to survive Davis, he's aiming to truly challenge him.
Tank out here selling under 150,000 pay-per-views, you kidding me? Oh man, face of boxing, you turn that shit off. Yeah, we shutting that shit down every single day. Does Shakur really want to fight Tank? I think Shakur can sell a bit more with somebody else, especially in Saudi. I feel like they can find him a dancing partner that will do a little bit better than 150,000. Oh, okay, I get it. This is why PBC delayed this fight for what, 5 months? I ain't want to pay this motherfucker because y'all know he can't. So, I mean, this should have been evident. If you do the math, Tank has never been that great as a pay-per-view draw. He sold over 300K twice now in his career. He sold over 300K with Ryan Garcia. It's obvious, Ryan's the bigger star. And then he sold over 300 with Martin, so about 325. So when we put it in perspective, that Frank Martin fight was a comeback fight after the year layoff, so it was always going to sell. Every comeback fight's going to sell. It was one of the first pay-per-views on Amazon's new PBC deal, so they were really trying to push it. And then he had David Benavidez as the co-main event with Gary Russell and Alberto Puello under them. You take away all those factors, this wasn't a comeback fight. David Benavidez isn't the co-main event, and Amazon has now been in the game for over a year. It makes sense it only sold one. I know there's going to be a couple of you guys in the comments. No, it sold 500K. Don't. Sell 500. I don't know if Tank's a top. Well, I know for a fact he's not a top 5 draw in the sport of boxing anymore. Whoa. He's not selling pay-per-views. Bivol better be at just triple it. Well, Jerry, their pay-per-views are cheaper. Don't matter. All that matters is who has more eyes watching him. Bivol better be at the Tank.
Roach has held titles. He's been in deep waters and came out composed. Though Davis commands headlines, Lamont has carved a legacy of his own. Critics may overlook him, but his record proves he can hang with the best. When their first fight ended in a draw, it shook the sport. For the first time, people questioned Tank's invincibility and they started taking Roach seriously.
Looks like a real businessman now, you know. He's not all loud and crazy like he was. He's kind of toned it and tamed it, calmed it and tamed it down. Toned it down a bit, so I respect that with Ryan, man, and I think he's gonna be a lot more focused now, and he's actually gonna go and train, and he's gonna definitely put on a show, and I think he's gonna win, man. I think he's gonna win by knockout.
How long does that fight go, in your opinion?
It won't go past 6.
Well, everyone's been saying that.
I don't think it goes past 6.
Why?
What's up, fam?
Why do you guys think it?
Nah, there's too many hoes in the game of too many hoes in this game.
Like, cut that out. Okay, cut that out.
Too many hoes in this game, man. Y'all know, man. Come on, nobody's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, you can see that he got a lot of hoes in this game, man. You know, he's very unconventional, but you know, got some pop on his shots, but that's it. You know, I think Ryan's gonna catch him with that left hook, and it's gonna be 9-9.
How shocking would it be if Rolly pulled the upset?
That'd be shocking as hell if Rolly pulled off the upset. But I think Rolly's damaged goods, man. I mean, if you look at his last couple of fights, bro, he hasn't been the same since he got knocked out by Gervonta Davis, bro. He hasn't been the same. You know, sometimes one fight can ruin your entire career, man. He's just not the same. Not the same mentally. He's not the same physically, bro. And after he left his coach, coach has been, that was coach starting out. Good Bullet. Yeah, he looks a little different. No disrespect to anybody that's working with him now, but he just looks different, bro. He's not the same fighter.
What about Devin returning against Ramirez?
Good fight, but Devin should be able to outbox Ramirez. I love Ramirez to death. But he can be outboxed. You know, he comes forward. He got great left hook. We're going to see if Devin learned anything. A little slower with the left hook, but Ramirez got pop. He got pop on that left hook, man. So it's a good test for Devin, because you already know what's lined up.
After that fight, Davis's reaction didn't go over well. Rather than acknowledging Roach's skill, he blamed ring rust and personal issues. Many in the boxing world saw that as deflection and unwillingness to give Roach his due. Sportsmanship matters, and sidestepping credit can sometimes say more than intended.
We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and said that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already knows, but the fact that he went toe to toe with Tank, the decision ended in a draw. Whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter, because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevens, etc., the Devin Haney, etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else, and that is the hairstylist situation. My humble opinion, I believe he should have been quiet. The hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at them like, I don't want her to break my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims. Always received it. No one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this it had no grease or oil, and no one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Did she have remained quiet, or did she do what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Still, there's no denying one fact: Davis is a master at mid-fight adjustments. When things shift, he doesn't panic, he recalibrates. Whether he needs to switch up the pace, strategy, or distance, Tank does it with a precision few possess. That's what makes him deadly. Even if you win a round, he finds a way to flip the script.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a sink and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps, you know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you. He might see if the old time janitors, the superintendents in the big buildings, those big buildings, and they had a big brass key ring about this big with 1,000 keys on it, but every key, they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
You're great with the analogies. I love the analogies.
And he finds the right key.
He does.
He doesn't walk into a room and like, bang, you know, oh my God, I should open that door. And a lot of guys do. Romero walked into that room. Garcia walked into that room, you know. So he don't, and that's part of what separates him and makes him a guy that's one of the most complete fighters right now of our time.
And that's where we are now. Gervonta Davis, arguably one of the most dangerous boxers of our time, is gearing up for another high-stakes showdown. Whether Lamont Roach can expose him again or get overwhelmed by a more evolved Tank, one thing is certain: this rematch isn't just a fight. It's a reckoning. Stay tuned for more.